Published 11:36 EDT, the 9th of September 2017. Updated 13:36 EDT, the 9th of September 2017. I feel like a turkey that's been trussed up for Christmas dinner. Henry Blofeld didn't disappoint during the final stint of his colorful and charismatic Test match special career. After 47 years on the airwaves, commentating on the numerous highs and lows of England's cricket team, the man affectionately known as Blowers spent his final working day with the BBC at Lord's on Saturday. Henry Blofeld is pictured pitchside during his final day working for Test match special. Blofeld is seen in the commentary box at the Lord's Media Centre alongside Phil Tufnell. After 47 years at the BBC, Blofeld called his final game as England beat West Indies, and, as England made strides towards the 107 runs they needed to beat West Indies, he was given the chance to deliver a fitting send-off. Fitting it was. "I feel like a turkey that's been trussed up for Christmas dinner," he said, reflecting his thoughts on the big farewell afforded to him by the Beeb at the London venue. "Oh look, the floodlights have come on. I hope they haven't come on to greet me." Despite being dressed in a lime green jacket and striking red trousers, he managed to make a relatively understated exit from the commentary box, handing over to fellow announcer Ed Smith with just a handful of overs of the match remaining and with the entire TMS team huddled in the media centre to say goodbye. But the cricket-going public weren't about to let the 77-year-old quietly retreat into semi-retirement, and Lord's got to its feet to applaud him as he signed off for one last time, and again when he embarked on a lap of honour after the end of the match. "It's been terrific fun and I really don't know where to start, and or continue. Or what to do," he said as he prepared to end his spell behind the mic. Blofeld pictured right with fellow Test match special commentators from left Christopher Martin Jenkins, Brian Johnston, Trevor Bailey and Don Mosey. In 1978, Blofeld provides commentary at an England v Australia Test match at Edgbaston. In 1997, Blofeld, at 77 years old, has taken the decision to hang up his microphone. His has been the most familiar voice on British sporting broadcasts for almost half a century. "I've got no last word because handing over to next commentator has always been an adventure for me. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of it. It's been wonderful talking to you. I will miss you something dreadful. I must try not to fall over when I hand over to the next commentary, who I think is going to be Ed Smith. How lovely. I'm going to do a bit of theatre work and I've even done one or two reality TV things. Not Love Island." Henry Blofeld on what he will do next. Quite typically, he then got his headset caught up in telephone wires as he tried to shuffle out of the box after his lap of honour, and having a photo taken with a gaggle of MCC members in front of the pavilion. Blofeld spoke to Sky. "I'm 78 next week, or is it the week after, and I don't think I see as well as I did," he said, explaining his decision to step aside. "You can only get worse, so perhaps it's better to go when people are prepared to clap you. Huge amount of fun. Some people call it work. It's been terrific. I really have loved my life." Former England captain Michael Vaughan talks with Blofeld prior to Saturday's play. "I'm going to do a bit of theatre work and I've even done one or two reality TV things. Not Love Island." Colleagues, journalists and former players queued up to deliver their tributes. "It's quite a sad day when someone like that moves on and finds another bottle of wine to open somewhere else," said Sky Sports presenter and former England captain David Gower. "I've had some wonderful times with Blowers. He's larger than life. He's magnificent," another former England skipper Ian Botham said. Blofeld's inimitable style and wonderful trains of though have become as much of a BBC institution as the programme he made home. Blofeld hangs up his microphone for the very last time. The Lord's crowd rose to their feet to applaud the broadcaster, a former Cambridge Blue and an able wicket-keeper batsman in his youth. Blofeld has assembled a legion of devoted fans across the country, indulging them in mediums from theatre halls to Twitter. On his final day in the job, Blofeld kept his followers on social media up to date with his movements. "Alleluia, the sun is shining for what looks as if it will be my last day commentating with TMS. Let's hope for a humdinger of a finish," he wrote before play started. "The Lord's caterers gave me 2 lobsters for my last working lunch," followed a second post in the early afternoon, "Lobster thermidor, and it was way beyond exceptional. What a last, I will be missed. Favourite cricketer Sir Garfield Sober's wonderful. Simply the finest all-round cricketer I ever saw. The man I would most readily fill up the car and spend my own money to watch. Favourite batsman excluding Sober Dennis Comptoni was lucky enough to play against the great man in a minor counties game. What a swashbuckling batsman. Tom Gravini shall never forget his 100 in Port of Spain, Trinidad, in 1968. My goodness, he played well, the most technically perfect innings. Sir Vivian Richards. Viv is a dear man. He was a majestic batsman in full flight, and I hugely enjoyed working with him on radio afterwards. Barry Richards and Graham Pollock. You often see one outstanding batsman while another is watching from the other end, but at Kingsmead in 1970, just before South Africa's isolation, two great players were at the top of their game at exactly the same time. Favorite keeper: Alan. Not agile, and never dropped anything. Unquestionably the greatest wicketkeeper of my lifetime. Favorite ground: Trent Bridge. I absolutely love it. It's one of the only grounds where gatekeepers welcome you in rather than look for every possible reason to keep you out. Then Adelaide Newlands, Cape Town, Queen's Park Oval, Port of Spain. Favorite test match: Headingley 1981, the extraordinary match when Ian Botham and Bob Willis won it by 18 runs after England had followed on. The perfect illustration of why two-innings matches are infinitely preferable to one-day cricket, and I had a bit of luck in that I was on air when Bob Willis finished it off by clinically removing Ray Bright's middle stump, and caused a lot of car crashes. At least they were happy crashers.